3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah, don't I know it? We're good. What up? Welcome to Dynamite Rocketship. I'm your host, Toby McMullen. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop a comment, leave a like, all that good stuff. Check us out on any of the audio platforms. We're on all of them. And head on over to the Patreon for bonus content, patreon.com/Dynamite Rocketship. My guest today is hot off the campaign trail, full bore for real, running for mayor of New York City. She's a great comedian, fantastic podcaster. You can check out her shows, Guys We Fucked, the show that started it all, as well as Without a Country on the Gas Digital Network. And she has a show in October at the Comedy Store, Gash, October 27th. Grab some tickets if you're out in the LA area. And please welcome to the show, Corinne Fisher.
Hello. Thank you. What a beautiful intro.
Thank you. I've been trying to get better at it. I drop a lot of ums, and I want to jump off a bridge every time I look at the footage.
No, that was so good. I will say I'm not on Gas anymore, but that's because they got rid of all their political content. But Ralph is still lovely and lets me use the studio. So it appears to still be on Gas.
Okay, for sure. That's my bad.
No. They got rid of Dave. They don't even do Dave Smith's show too. And I mean, he obviously is a super successful political podcaster. But yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like the hero of the libertarians. They like
they needed a guy.
Yeah, sure. How's it been post mayoral run?
Good. I mean, I basically, even after I had to concede because the Board of Elections nonsense, I kept working on the campaign in different capacities because there were some bills that needed to be passed, and people are hungry for young. Like, I'm 39, but in political years, that's still super young.
Oh, you're a spring chicken,
exactly.
Political-wise.
It was nice. You're like, okay, well, I'm getting old in the entertainment business, but I am young in politics. So it was a real refresh.
You still have all your real teeth?
Yes. No, they were salivating at the thought of someone with over 10,000 followers who was under 50 years old with public speaking training. Yeah. So I just worked on bills. And then, I worked with Dream, which was Don't Rank Evil Andrew for mayor. So I was, up until June 24th working in politics. And then, just took a moment to recalibrate because my artistic brain and my political brain could not work in unison.
Oh, totally. I tried to get you on and you were like, I'm in full-blown campaign mode. And I was like,
I couldn't.
I simply cannot talk to anyone about anything serious like that.
Yeah, no.
I'll be useless.
The only thing I was able to talk about is because I had to do so much studying, to retain the amount of information, especially when you're, doing mayoral forums with people who have been working with policy for, Brad Lander, we're talking 3 decades. And I thought that would actually be the most challenging part of it. And it wasn't, because if you're good at studying, you actually can't, and what your vision for, the place that you're running, in this case, New York City, is. Was actually, I found, one of the least difficult parts. But the most is the cutthroatness, all the red tape, little, just the little tricks that they pull on you to get you out of the running. And I know in theory how to be cutthroat, but it doesn't appeal to me. And I still hold out hope that there is a way to genuinely want to be a good leader and make people's lives better. And maybe I'll try again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because at first I was like running for mayor. Oh, what a fun bit. And then I was like, oh no, this is dead fucking serious.
Yeah, I know. I was like, obviously that was the challenge for the first, month of the campaign was making people realize this wasn't a bit, but also the video wasn't funny at all.
No.
There was nothing funny about the initial video, and I wanted to make it funny, but I knew that would have confused people.
Totally. 100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was fun to watch, and it was cool to have some skin in the game friendship wise for someone that I actually like and enjoy.
Thanks.
As opposed to just another guy who I'm just like, you're just gonna pilfer the fucking subway money and put it to buy a new house or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, between my campaign and obviously Zoran Mamdani's campaign, a lot of young voters got involved in municipal politics for the first time and showed up to the polls like never before. So I really do think it was a positive outcome. And, it just when you see a campaign like Zoran's, you're like, it's his year. This was his moment to do this thing, and I'll have another moment, and it's no problem. But I do think it's a problem that there's such gatekeeping going on. If we have things like the public, like the matching funds program in New York City that is supposed to encourage everyday people to run, then we should actually let them get on the ballot when they get the signatures that are required.
Yeah, I think it should be the next election. It should only be deli guys. And because they know everybody in the city, they know if you're a piece of shit, they see you at your darkest moments.
Yeah.
I think those guys would run an honest ship.
I'd vote for my bodega guy. He's a lovely man.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It whips up a chopped cheese, says, he's great.
100%.
Yeah, how's the car shop going?
I closed. That's how I had time to run for mayor. I closed that a couple years, beginning of last year, I guess it was that we closed that.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, it's okay. It was always 5-year maximum I put on that. Okay. That was like basically a living memorial to my dad. I was not trying to get into store owning long term, although it is one of my favorite things I've ever done. Like, I've had such incredible life experiences the past 5 years between owning the card shop, running for mayor, like truly top 10 life experiences. I recommend it to everyone. I like to try a little bit of everything. John Campanelli and I ran that for like 3.5 years. And then the problem is, if you know a lot about like the card business, when Fanatics bought out Tops, it really fucked over people who had brick and mortar shops who had been Tops stores.
Yes.
And my dad had a Tops store and a Tops account for 3 decades. And Fanatics is just a brutal company. They're truly the Amazon of trading cards. And I hate them so much.
There is not one cool thing left that hasn't been touched by the like evil arm of corporate greed. Mm-hmm. I mean, when baseball cards, that's about like childhood and
Topps is iconic. It's synonymous with America and baseball, and it truly broke my heart. There was a part of me that was like, honestly, good timing for my dad to pass away, because this would have broke his damn heart, and I couldn't have watched that. So
you hate, because that's a guy that's, if you're into a collectible, especially brick and mortar, that's a true love of the game.
Oh my god! And he knew everything. It was so difficult. Like, I was actually just talking with John Campanelli about this the other day. We, because my dad got sick and, passed away very unexpectedly. So he was still literally, in the shop, locked the shop one day, never came back. And so we just went into this, and he ran it alone, no employees. My mom helped with the accounting, but she wasn't on the floor of the store. So we walked in, and it was truly 30 years of a method that we had to figure out. It was like a puzzle, because I'm like, I know there's a method to his madness, but there's no written trace. So there's like half completed sets, there's sports, there's non-sports, there's memorabilia, there's auto, and I just sat there for like a couple of months and figured out and put everything together the best way I knew how, because it was in his organization, which was not mine. But it was incredible.
Oh, that's my nightmare is me dying, and then someone having to like look at my organization or complete lack thereof and be like, what the fuck was wrong with this dude?
I promptly put together a will and broke everything down, and I told everyone where it is. I have like an envelope of pictures that need to be burned before my mother sees.
Yes. The biggest thing is what to do with your phone. No one thinks about it, man. Because that phone is everything.
I mean, my dad had like a cricket phone. Like,
sure,
he did not. Yeah, but for us, young people, our phones are, and it's really hard. Oh, you know what you have to do? I thought of this too. I did all the things that you do, like post grief, and that you haven't thought of before. There is an option to, like, I forgot what it's called, but like basically, if you die, you kind of make a pact with someone else that they can have access to your phone. So my brother and I did it with each other. But you should 100% do that with someone you trust. It's
gotta be. I mean, a ride or die.
Called.
Yeah, a ride or die. I had a thing a few months ago. It was my ex-girlfriend who passed away. It was her birthday, and I still have her phone. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and I opened it up, and I found all these voice recordings of her singing and stuff, just weeping on my couch. My cat's looking at me like, dude, what is wrong with you? And I had this moment where the phone connected to my Wi-Fi, and I was like, I have the opportunity to do the meanest, funniest thing that anyone could ever do, and just start texting people. Just rifling off from beyond the grave. Just like, JK, I've been in Aruba. It was all a hoax.
And like knowing what I know from talking to you and like some clips you've posted or pictures about your ex-girlfriend's personality, I feel like she would have done something like that.
If there is an afterlife and she was looking down, she would have been like, do it, dude. That's so, do it.
100%.
Yeah. The real move is you pick one person and then you go, can you keep first text, can you keep a secret?
So funny.
Yeah, but brutal. So it was too much power to hold. It was like I was holding the one ring. I just couldn't focus. When did your dad pass away?
It would have June 29th, 2021.
How old is he?
69.
Is it nice?
Hell yeah.
Honestly,
my brother and I laughed so hard because just like my dad was in hospice telling everyone that he was a porn star, and my mom kept yelling at him, and he was like, okay, I owned a porn shop, and I was like, so he would have thought that was very funny.
That's a good time. It's cool that he was still goofing till the very end.
Well, it was weird because he had hypoxic brain damage, so I mean he was functioning like an 8-year-old. I mean, truly, like not even trying to be funny, like an 8-year-old with a learning disability. Yeah. But what I found very interesting as a comedian was the last thing to go, the thing that stayed intact the longest was his sense of humor. And it wasn't just any sense of humor. It was specifically his. Like he lost his memory. You know, he went in and out of knowing who my mom, and my brother and his brother were. Eventually, that's like he remembered us. Sometimes he would like maybe confuse me and my mom, stuff like that. But he generally knew who we were, but had forgot so many other pieces of his life. And so the fact that he still understood like how to deliver a joke and what was conceptually funny really amazed me. Because of course I was having like an existential crisis during that time. And I was like, is fucking telling jokes for a living enough? Like all these terrible things are going on in the world. Like your dad's dying, just social issues. And then I'm like, and I get on stage and like joke around every night. Like I know we all like to tell ourselves, oh my God, we're giving the gift of comedy and comedy is healing. And I truly do believe that. But I also have a lot of other skill sets and like, especially in activism. And I just spent a long time wondering, but you know, his attachment to his sense of humor really helped me to make peace with that. Because I love doing, there's nothing I've ever loved as much as stand-up comedy. Yeah. Like, I've never stuck with anything. I'm not a human being. Like, I mean, my dog, but besides that, there's nothing I love the way I love stand-up.
Yeah, it's, they're the hardest I've laughed, and I think the funniest I've ever been has been in and around the most horrific situations I've been in.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when I went through the breakup became the impetus for Guys We Fucked, there was many times when I would be crying in the green room or the lobby of the comedy club, wipe my tears away, go on stage, kill for 15 minutes, go back to crying. And it was like, that's when I was really like, oh, I'm good at this. That's when I discovered, I was like, oh, I can do this.
And everyone else in the green room is just looking at you going, you good, bud?
Yeah. Oh, I am so comfortable crying in public from living in New York City for, 22 years that no problem.
Oh, if you haven't, you will, if you move to the city, you will cry in public 2 to 3 times without question.
Oh, you will publicly weep on the subway, and no one will ask you if everything's okay. Someone might silently give you a tissue, which is my favorite move. Yeah. And it's fine. Like
you're more likely to get hit on than have someone offer a helping hand.
Yeah. It's such freedom. Weeping in public, I really find it to be so freeing because I'm someone who really, especially in my first 20 years of life, was not a crier, at all. Like, very few things would make me cry. I would cry a couple times a year. And then I just came to New York and I was like, I'm just going to openly weep, I'm a big
titty baby. I'm an easy cry. I'll get going.
Love it.
Oh my God. If there's
Cathartic.
Yeah. If there's a movie where a dog reunites with its owner at the end,
forget about
come on, it's over with.
I'm constant. I weep every night at dog rescue videos now that Instagram exists with the kind of content that it does. Yeah. My algorithm is just, this dog has 5 hours to live, and if it dies, it's your fault. And I'm like, no, Bruno.
You're the easiest mark for a GoFundMe of all time.
Oh my God. I am just me and dog. Even on the way here, I'm just like bumping to save this dog in Atlanta. But the thing is, I have gotten dogs rescued before. So I know it's possible. And I talk about dog rescue a lot. So like I've gotten a few. So I feel like we just got to keep going. It's a numbers game, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. You're using your powers for good.
Yeah.
That's much better than a crypto pump and dump.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm like, so it's money, but conceptual money? I can't figure it out.
Oh yeah, me either. I had crypto was explained to me as a means of buying drugs on the internet in 2020 or 2010.
Yeah.
So it's like when a heroin addict introduces you to a new form of money, you're like, total scam.
Right.
Meanwhile, now this guy kicked heroin loaded to the gills.
Ugh.
The universe is so unfair.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So your dad's passing, it popped up it was a shock. It came out of nowhere.
Well, I wouldn't say a shock. I mean, because he had, it was cardiac arrest. But so it's not like for a man in his 60s, I guess that kind of thing is never shocking. And also, this is weird, and I think a lot of people don't know that, but my dad is or was 6'6", the same height as Michael Jordan. And if you're over either like it's between 6'2" and 6'4", I have to look it up again. But if you are above that in height, your lifespan is almost 10 years less than other people because your body just has more to handle. Like the blood has to travel for, like this is scientifically proven. Athletes a lot of times, are experiencing heart issues. Obviously, they're putting through their body through a lot. And I guess I just had, as a young woman, especially being the oldest child in the family, I had watched so many relatives die. And it really was, for the most part, people will get sick when they're older, and then we'll visit them in the hospital, and then they'll pass away. And so my dad still felt young-ish, and it wasn't happening the way it had happened with other relatives. Like his face wasn't wrinkly, so I guess that's why. I'm not saying it was shocking, but it was more surprising and out of the blue than a lot of previous deaths in my family. I mean, I have experienced lots of friends dying very young. My childhood best friend is dead, and she died at 34.
Yeah, that was going to be my other question: is if you had
a lot,
other experiences.
I was dating a guy who died of a heart attack in the middle of the night. He literally didn't text me back, and then. It's people like, oh, he ghosted you. I'm like, no, he literally ghosted me.
Yeah.
It was that kind of situation where when women get mad and they're like, oh, well, this guy better be dead. Or why didn't he text me back? Things were going so well. Like, no, he literally died. So he was dead. Yeah, a lot of death, a lot of death in my high school, a lot of drug overdoses, cancer, car accidents.
Every high school has one kid.
Oh, we have a lot. Someone died on the senior class trip too. I didn't go on it, but it was whitewater rafting, and I remember the announcement sitting in homeroom like it was yesterday, where because the chatter had started, so I had a feeling that this person had died.
The scuttlebutt had hit the
they went whitewater rafting, and he fucking drowned and never came back.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dying on a school trip would suck.
Yeah.
Sitting down to a poker game in heaven, everyone with World War II veterans and guys who died in a fire, and you're like, yeah, whitewater raft. My parents never should have signed that permission slip, goddammit.
Well, funny you say that. I mean, funny in quotes, but yeah, he forged his dad's signature, and he was. He was maybe from African descent, and so his father was like an immigrant from Africa, I want to say, but definitely an immigrant from somewhere where he basically said, and I quote, I would never have signed that. The water is the devil. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
And so when you hear the details of this, you're just like, holy, I mean, it still sends shivers down my spine to this day. And that's something that happened when I was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. I whitewater raft, of all the extreme ventures you can get into, whitewater rafting is one that I've never. The thought of falling off a boat and then hitting your head on a rock and then just being fucking sucked through some rap, dude. Fuck that.
Yep.
Plus, it seems hard. My arms would get tired.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like there was a certain type of student, like the popular, like more annoying kids. And this guy wasn't one of those, but he went on like that would go on these school type trips. And I'm just such a dork. I was like, I don't want to be one day behind of work. I just want to stay here, finish my tests and not make senior year any more complicated than it has to be, because I could not wait to get out and move to New York City. I was so fucking done with Union, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, some of you I love, but.
No, it's fine. I don't think anyone is. I mean, there are people who are like, fuck yeah, New Jersey, but they're few and far between.
Well, I have a real love for New Jersey, but I just was like, I can't stay in the town where I grew up. I have to go be an artist, and like Union, New Jersey is not a hub of art.
No.
Although we have a really great theater program in our high school.
Hell yeah.
Public school.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And Taylor Ham, nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite thing about New Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, diners for me is diners and malls. We do diners and malls like no other in New Jersey.
With that, it's kind of all that's there. That and auto body shops.
Bowling.
Yeah.
A lot of bowling. I came from, I'm a half Jewish, so Jews, we love bowling.
That is something I've never heard.
It's like a sport we're good at.
I'm
using sport loosely, but no, it's because there's like that mental element to it, and not a ton of physical. It's more like a puzzle where you're throwing a ball.
Yeah.
So Jews were good at that.
Yeah, it's all finesse, no strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing this and we're just so pro. The thing I want to talk to you about was grief and your experience with it. And you had brought up before we started recording us in a green room talking about it and really bumming everyone we were around out as we were like really
crying at a bar, I think.
Yeah, probably. That sounds like something we would do.
And I don't even know how, like, you don't drink, right?
No, not for 7.5 years.
Yeah, and I don't really drink either. I'm not like stone cold sober, but I wasn't drinking, I don't think, at all that night.
Yeah, it was us and a girl holding a broken platform shoe weeping in the bar. Just going, where the fuck is Brad? As we're like, yeah, man, it really pops up out of nowhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you don't drink. Have you done psychedelics?
Yes. I've done DMT, acid, mushrooms. That's it.
Okay, those are the heavy hitters. I never got my hands on DMT. But I would do it if it was offered. But the way that I've described grief is that it's very much like an acid trip, in that you think that it's done and it's over and you're fine, and then all of a sudden it just like the wave hits you and you're like, whoa, we're not done at all. I'm still in the thick of this thing, man.
Absolutely.
And then you're crying in your shower.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, grief just hits you out of nowhere, and you'll be fine for a few months, and then you're just like, where is this coming from? What even triggered this?
Yes.
A song, a smell. Smell is the weird trigger for me, because I'm just like, what smells are doing this? There's certain, like, songs is a given.
Yes.
Songs is a given, but smell is the one where you're like, damn.
Yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen, dead to me.
Really?
Can't go anywhere near that shit.
Wait, so you and your ex listened to a lot of Carly Rae Jepsen?
She did. She was a big fan.
Oh, that's so interesting. I love Carly Rae Jepsen. I remember like one of it was perhaps even the first birthday after my dad died, when I was really sad. I was at a Carly Rae Jepsen concert at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
And I just remember, because I would just like have to make appointments with friends, and I'm like, I just had to force myself to get out, because I knew I wouldn't let my friends down if we had some kind of ticketed event to go to.
Yeah.
So I would just go to a lot of ticketed events where I'm like, I'm going to be fucking my friend over if I don't show up for this. Like, I cannot stay in bed.
Yeah, I just like wrapped myself in work. I was like, I was just like laser focused. This will save me. I'm just going to just fucking work myself to death. But yeah, now it's like, if a Carly Rae Jepsen song, I'm just like, call me maybe, call me definitely not.
No. Oh. And so Carly's, from what I know of her as an artist, I think that would really resonate with her. She would be super empathetic. She seems like a really sweet soul.
Sure, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that people who find that level of suggest are generally pretty cool? Mm-hmm. It's like, I think it's pretty rare that you get to be a stadium act while being a huge dickhead, although some people do it.
Yeah. I was like, comedians for sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, it seems to be a prerequisite in comedy.
Are you a huge fucking dick?
Well, we've got an occupation for you. No, I mean, it's so hard in this business because even though like, networking is such a big part of it, and it would behoove me to be friendly with people who are assholes. Like, I can't do it. I have to have success in an ethical way. And so many people who are successful in this business make my skin crawl.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
No, we won't name names, but
yeah, there are a couple, 2, 3. But I'll say this. Well, what I found to be really weird is that even in like the darkest moment where you're like, where you're so overwhelmed by emotion and you feel like completely out of sorts and you have this like uncontrollable sadness, there are parts of you that would still like poke out. Like right after Sam died, we were outside of the hospital. We'd gotten the news on the way there, and everyone is just inconsolable. And then someone I was with gave me a hug that was a little too long. And even in that moment, like this, one of the saddest, like probably the saddest moment of my entire life, I was like, all right, chill out, buddy. Like, relax. Which is like an insane thing. Like my like masculine ego was like, I mean, it's sad, but like fucking keep it together, bro.
It doesn't mean I like dicks now. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you trying to fuck me, dude?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it is weird. I mean, I was actually thinking about this today, how like the things that bothered me during my grief and how like hypersensitive I was to certain things that when I think of now, I'm like, oh, like this doesn't bother me at all. Like in reflection.
Do you have any examples?
Yeah. So I hate to call. So when we closed down the store, there were these glass cases, display cases for baseball cards that had come from my dad's original store in Roselle Park, New Jersey, moved to Larchmont, New York, to me and John's second iteration of the store. And to me, they really reminded me of my dad. Like they had cigarette smoke still on them. I mean, I cleaned them off, but I didn't want to clean like too much off. And also anyone who's been to like a legit good baseball card shop knows if it's too clean, that means the prices are going to be unjust.
Yes.
So like it has to be a little overcrowded. You have to have that fun, like going through feeling.
You want it to feel like there's something to unearth.
Exactly.
Like you're one drawer or flick away from finding like a grail.
Like you could discover a gem. Like
exactly.
There's something that the owner has overlooked. Even though we've looked at everything, you need to feel that.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like I tried to create organized chaos. Obviously, I'm a woman, so it was just a cleaner store than my dad was going to run. And it was, less amount of time to pile. But so those cases, so when we had the, movers who actually ended up being a group of comics who have a professional moving company, but comics nonetheless, I made the decision that it was time after 3 decades of use. Things were broken on them. They had really served their purpose. My parents had got them in the 80s, that it was time to throw them out. And I don't know. I mean, I also had this thing where I had a weird attachment to physical objects in my grief. And I even looked up online because I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And I was like, is giving like human qualities to inanimate objects associated with OCD? But it seemed to be more associated with the grief. And so I was really attached to these things. And, I gave them to Mike Racine and the other comics to throw away at the dump. And it was so nice because they were going to be so hard to dispose of. And he gave me a great rate and everything. But then they love going to the dump, I guess. And they made like content of them at the dump just throwing these cases and the glass shattering, and they're like in the camera yelling like, yeah! And like there was a part that I was trying to connect with the part of me that was happy that until their last moments being used on this earth. They were bringing people joy. That's what the message I was telling myself.
Yeah, but meanwhile you're going, that's my dad's shit, bro.
But like the grief part of me just won. And I mean, for weeks I grappled with like seeing the shattering and the screaming. Like it was, I don't know, like now it doesn't bother me at all, but like there were weeks I had to mute these people on social media, and I like even like DM'd a couple of them, and like I was like, hey, I know that you don't mean it in this way, but it was kind of hard to see that like you, like they knew the story.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't expect anyone to make such a connection, but that is one example.
Hey, Toots, I know you're sad, but the views got to keep coming.
Yeah. And also, like, I think it's not even something that I don't think would get a lot of views. And I'm like, I understand you taping it because it brought you treasure and you guys they like all love going to the dump. Like, I get it. Yeah. But that was just something for me that truly like haunted me for a couple months. I had to talk about it in therapy because I thought I was going nuts. But, you know, when someone dies, especially someone like my dad, who was by profession a collector, their things really do take on a new meaning.
Yes.
And that's what I really wanted to express in the store, because I think collecting, especially for, you know, young people with eBay and, you know, and I fucking love eBay, but it's just become basically gambling, you know, and card trading there's always an element of gambling to it. But I would always remind the kids when they came in, I'm like, do you like the art on the card? Is this your favorite player? Do you like cards that have pieces of the bat in them? I was just like, and it was a much wealthier town than my dad's store had existed in. So, you know, I have a real bias against people who grew up wealthy. There's just a stench on them, in my opinion, that never comes off. And no matter like that, you know, I don't know. I don't even try to hide it anymore. I just fucking hate people who grew up rich. They kind of suck. And a lot of my friends did too, but they all have a stench on them that just will never come off. And I just didn't want these kids to end up like that, because I know that up until the day he died, like collecting had brought my dad so much joy, and he had shared that joy with so many people, including myself. Like I wasn't a sports card collector, but I have an extensive Spice Girls memorabilia collection.
Sick.
Yeah. And like going and finding the stuff and being on vacation wherever you are and just keeping it like a lookout from the corner of your eye for that, whatever doll you're looking for. It's thrilling. I love it.
It's cool. It's cool when my high school graduation speech. So my high school, every kid like writes something and reads it.
Yeah.
And I wrote a thing about my dad. My dad taking me to Toys R Us to pick out whatever I wanted.
Oh my God, my dad used to do that too.
The coolest ever.
Yes, going to Toys R Us with your dad and walking up down the aisles. Oh,
it was the best.
Yes.
And I remember sitting in front of this wall of Batman action figures, and in my head, it was as big as the Empire State Building. It's just an endless wall of sick ass Batmans.
Yeah.
And the one I picked was so dope, dude. It's like the figure would his cape wrapped around him, and then it would open out and turn into a hang glider. And I remember being so hyped and being like, this is the sickest fucking thing. I brought it home, and I had Batman whoop all of my other toys' asses, just like running around my room having Bruce fucking punch everybody in the face just to assert his dominance inside of the domicile. And then I unfolded the hang glider and then went to toss it. It's hard plastic.
Yeah.
I didn't know about physics. This thing fucking ate shit instantly. Broke, crushed. All my hopes and dreams. But that thing of going and getting stuff with your dad is the greatest.
Yeah, because dads are just a little loosey-gooseier for the most part. Like, you know, and especially, I don't know, do you have a sister or?
No, I have an older brother.
You know, because I was like, there is also a special thing I feel like with girls and their dads, where like dads will get their little girls like anything.
Sure.
So I you know, my dad was always getting me stuff, and I really tried not to abuse it, because I knew that he was like a softie, and I was like, I don't want to manipulate this man.
Yeah.
But when you really needed something, you were like, I'm gonna ask dad. When you really need something that is not an actual need, you ask dad. When you need something that's an actual need, you ask mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I was never much of a collector as a kid. Like I've never I've never held a lot of value in physical things.
Yeah.
Probably for the detriment of myself. I've so many times in my life I've moved and just thrown out everything I owned, just like full reset.
It's smart for New York City living. Yeah, I was basically indoctrinated from being the daughter of a collector. You are going to have a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Don't do that. It's going to be worth something someday.
Oh my God, the amount of, I can't, that's probably why I have an OCD. Don't bend this. Don't open this. Yeah. I mean, we had Adams. One of the things we sold at the store that we were dying laughing that my dad had saved for, I don't know, 20 plus years was when the Addams Family, they came out with Addams Family cereal in conjunction with the movie. And there was like these little flashlights, like the Thing and stuff flashlights. So we had the complete set of that. That was wrapped and sitting on my dad's bookcase in his bedroom for decades, and we sold the whole set for, I don't know, $70. I'm like looking up, I'm like, what? So for 20 years of sitting here, this is how much we made.
This accrued 85 cents a year.
I'm like, the profit was, I don't know, 25, like something so minimal. I was dying laughing.
But that's one of those things that's like to everyone on planet Earth, nobody wants the Addams Family. No one gives a fuck about it marshmallows.
Right.
But there's one guy.
I found the guy. And he loves it. And they're in his house now and they're bringing him joy. And I love that.
Yeah, but then you find out that it's because like his house burned down and that was the one thing that didn't make it or something. It's some horrible tragedy attached to it.
Yeah, I feel like owning the shop I think it's, and getting into collecting or appreciating collecting, it can heal some of the, I mean, this is a kind of a heavy word, but like it can heal some of the trauma of capitalism.
Yeah, I agree, but you are correct that now it's just about return on investment, and especially when it comes to like I had a sick Pokemon card collection.
Oh, yeah.
And I distinctly, it was like in a binder, real nice, everything was crispy, never played with them. And I remember moving, and I remember my parents looking at me and being like, these will be worth nothing.
What a mistake. You could have bought a house on that.
Dude,
no.
I had an original holographic Charizard. My hundreds of thousands of dollars. That thing is worth
at a certain point, you just got to be like, I guess this wasn't meant to be, because that will keep you up at night.
Oh, you can't. I can't think about it. I see Logan Paul with his around his neck, and I want to jump off a building, dude.
Yeah. And especially something like cards, like they're not if they're in a binder, like they're not really taking up much space.
No, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But
and that's if anyone's watching it who's a collector right now, please, if you have your cards in binders, it's not my favorite way to keep cards, because I think a lot of times, unless it's in a climate controlled room, the plastic ends up sticking to the cards.
Yes.
But people would bring in like melty binders or shoe boxes. Like if you're serious about collecting, please have them in at least like a penny sleeve, at least, but probably some kind of a hard case. It's driving me crazy, because I'm like, people don't understand. It's not just about having the card; it's having the card in a specific condition.
Yes,
that can be graded by PSA. So please do not leave your kids' cards in a hot binder in the attic. People also leave them in the two worst places for climate control. It's either attic or basement/garage. And I'm like, oh, so the wet place or the hot place?
Yeah, well, these are covered in mold. Thank you very much for bringing these in. I have black mold by life now.
I know.
These are chock full of spores.
It would stress me out so much. But yeah, so that's just for any collectors out there.
Yeah, I've never collected. I don't have anything of that. I've never bought something and then sold it for more. Never once in my life. Never. I have never turned a profit on an item ever.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just interested in collecting for the sake of collecting, not for money. Like I'm into Labubu, and I'm usually not into like the craze thing, but
what the fuck is Labubu?
You don't know what a Labubu is?
No.
Toby, they're almost over.
Fuck.
So you know how when we were little, because I mean I'm a little older than you, but still millennials.
Yeah.
So you know how like mystery...
Oh, these things stink.
No, but you know how like mystery bags or like surprise elements where you would open like blind bags for toys were very popular?
Yeah.
So that's what I like about Labubus, because they come in blind bags and you're collecting from, there's different collections. That's what I like about it.
Okay.
And also like they are a fun keychain, and I do think adulthood is so... it's so joyless in many ways, and I think
Dude!
like toys for adults is actually good for humanity.
Oh my God, I couldn't agree more. This has been like my adult awakening is that no one does anything for fun.
Yeah.
If you
that's why people have kids, and I go, guys, you could just have the fun yourself. You don't have to have the kids.
Yeah, dude.
Just do the fun thing yourself. Jump on a trampoline. I always jump on trampolines. I bought a trampoline during COVID, and I jump on it. It's fun.
When I was growing up, the marker of a home that has experienced divorce was which home had a trampoline in the backyard.
Are you serious?
It was a 100% hit rate of trampoline divorce house.
That's so funny. My parents were together to the day my dad died, and I begged for a trampoline so much. And my mom said it would, this is the kind of house I grew up in. My mom said it would be, quote, an attractive nuisance, and that people would sneak into our backyard, use the trampoline, get injured, and then we would get sued.
Yes.
Because this was around the time. Do you remember this story? I don't know where it was geographically, but there was this famous story when I was like a young girl of like a burglar breaking into someone's house. Like they fell through the skylight onto a knife that was on a cutting board. The burglar got injured, and the woman got sued, and the burglar won the lawsuit.
Yes.
And so our parents heard stories like this, and then for some reason Corinne Fisher couldn't get a trampoline.
Now I can't do backflips in abyss.
It's a real butterfly effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing how what a pretzel you can put someone's brain in when you go, what are you doing for fun? And they go, they go, what, dude? And you go, yeah, like what's your like fun activity?
Oh my God, yeah.
And then people are like, oh, my job's pretty fun, especially with comics.
Well, that is the one where I could actually see, because, you know, for me, the job is actually fun.
Oh, it's like the most fun you can have.
Right.
It's I get to feel like the most awesome person alive.
Yeah.
And
I truly feel like we have the best job in the world. Besides Rockstar, I don't think there's really anything that you can argue is better than being a stand-up comic.
when it's going good. When you're,
I don't even mind.
When you're eating, but you're like psychically bulletproof in a way that's alarming.
Oh.
And that you're like,
well, some people call it narcissism, but I like the way you branded that for me. Thank you.
That's what I'm here to make you look good, dude.
It's not. So many people called me a narcissist that I took the actual test, you know, like I don't know if it's like the DSM or like, but my therapist was so convinced that I wasn't, that she goes, I'll give you the fucking test, Corinne. And I said, yeah. And then my favorite part was that I scored lower on the narcissism test than the average person. And I go, well, that's just something else to brag about.
No, I remember you, I can't remember where we were, but you were like, you said something about like, oh yeah, well, I just don't relate to that because I love myself.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I can't imagine, and we're talking about stand up. You're like, I can't imagine doing this if you didn't. And I was like, try doing it when you hate yourself.
And that's
dude.
Everyone. And I had no idea. I had no idea until I would say about 10 years ago that everyone had that 95% of people had such a bad relationship with themselves.
Oh man,
life is so hard when you like yourself. I can't imagine also being mad at you.
Oh, it's like every mean comment I've ever gotten, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's not ideal. I mean, I feel better about myself now than I have, but definitely for huge stretches, I've been like, dude, I fucking suck.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But that's also part of the attraction to stand-up is that like for, 15 minutes, you get to be fucking awesome.
Right. Well, it's so funny that that's how you look at it, because for me, I look at stand-up as 15 minutes where I get to be a piece of shit.
Interesting.
Like, because to me, what stand-up comedy is, and anytime it suffers in like, when people say, oh, people are too woke to handle comedy, I think we've passed that. But
we're totally past that.
Yeah, but I think it's because we have sold the idea that you have to be a good person, and so the audience needs to know that when they're entering a comedy space, you have to leave this need to be a good person behind.
Yes.
We're all human. We're all complex. We're all part good and part bad. And we're like the comic on stage, we're going to say the bad things, but you're going to laugh because you thought them.
Of course. And that should be what it is. And we're now in a world where it doesn't feel like people are getting on stage so much just to try and prove that they're like on the right side or whatever. It's like back to just, is this funny or not?
Yeah.
In some places, although I did do a show in Brooklyn recently where
I stopped doing shows in Brooklyn for so long. Besides Williamsburg Comedy Club, which was amazing, but
yeah, shout out to it.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Talk about grief.
Yeah, for real. Oh man, I love that place.
Me too.
Yeah, I started saying something and I it was the first time I've ever felt like, oh no, am I too old for this now?
Yeah.
Have I aged out, dude? Because I was talking about like men and women or something, and then in my head I'm like looking out of the crowd, and there's like a handful of trans people there, and like everyone.
A handful of trans people. Where in Brooklyn were you?
I know
a handful.
A statistical anomaly.
Yes. What the fuck?
Yeah. And then in my head I was like, is this completely, is this lacking in the amount of subtlety and like bandwidth you need for this? Do I need to be like some people, like, you know, instead of just being like, you're trying to cut the fat and get to the funny. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I've put you in a place mentally for you to be like, oh, this guy thinks this way or whatever. And I ate shit for fucking 12 minutes straight. Like, yeah, a bomb like I haven't had in quite some time, where I was like, dude, have I ever done this?
Well, I think the thing is, though, when you realize that as the comic on stage, in that moment when you realize that you have nothing in common with the audience, which does happen sometimes, you know, it's just like, in my opinion, it's like going on a date and in the first 5 minutes, you know, you have nothing in common with this person, but you have to get through at least like the cup of coffee you're drinking or whatever. And then you end up losing confidence in yourself. And once you lose confidence on stage, once you lose control of that ship, it is so hard to get control back, because people can fucking smell that.
Oh, big time.
People, and it's so funny that in Brooklyn, because people in Brooklyn like to pretend like bullying is evil, but they're the biggest bullies of all. They love to bully people.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does. It's human nature.
Of course.
Any scrap of power anyone has ever received has never been used with like any sort of kindness or empathy.
Right. No, for sure. And I've had that thought on stage too. I remember like at barbershop especially, about, you know, because it's a BYOB, like cheaper show. And so it's a lot of young people and you're really close to them. And I just remember having a thought like, oh no, am I too old to relate to this audience of like 22, 23-year-olds? And what I started then doing for a little while is like overcompensating and making my jokes too smart, because I was going about it the wrong way. And I was like, no, my jokes are too smart because I have too much life experience. And so then I went back to the basics and actually back to like the kind of material I would have done in my 20s. And then that started hitting. Like, we think these young, like Gen Z and like Brooklyn people are smarter or more progressive. Like, they're actually not.
Oh, I don't think that at all.
Yeah, I felt myself.
I don't think that at all.
I felt like myself overcompensating, like on I guess on like a social views level. And I was like, oh no, actually do your shittiest A to B material, and that's what's going to hit. It's the A to C that goes over their heads.
I've found that the people who fuck with my shit are by and large people who've had some like not cool stuff happen to them.
Oh, for sure. I have so many, fans with dead dads. Insane amount of death. A lot of alcoholics and suicidal people love me too. And the suicide one is weird because like I've actually like you probably, no one wants to kill themselves less than me. Like, right. And so maybe that's why a lot of suicidal people reach out to me though.
Well, that shows that you're providing them something, so that's sick.
Hopefully. I'm like, why kill yourself when you could just make someone else's life who you hate miserable by existing? Right?
Dude.
Like, I truly feel like, I kind of have a joke in this in my set, but I feel like we only look at staying alive in one way, and that's like being the best and being happy. I'm just like, how about just torturing others who would rejoice in your death? Like, there's fun in that too.
I've someone who's contemplated suicide a lot, dude.
You are someone?
Oh, big time.
I thought you were saying I know someone. Like, oh no, he's right here.
No, big time.
Like, have you ever made like an actual plan? Or like more ideation?
No, like constant ideation of just on a loop, constantly thinking about like, what do bullets taste like,
Whoa, okay, yeah. All right. Metallic, I would guess.
You would think so.
But hot, probably, if they're...
Certainly spicy. It's a meal you can only have once.
a really funny joke.
I'm sure it's a meme. Anytime I say anything like that,
I don't know.
anytime I say anything like that, I'm like, that was probably a meme in fucking 2005.
I feel like a troll on X would have already sent it to me. Wishful thinking. So I haven't gotten it.
Yeah, I think the funniest way to, and this is similar to the texting from a dead person's phone, is so if you're gonna kill yourself out there, one,
Right.
don't do it.
Right.
You'll make so many people sad. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun with it, what you can do is you need the right, I don't want to say target, but the right friend to do this to, where you set up 2 suicide notes, right?
Oh my God.
One that's real boilerplate generic, and that's forward facing, that's for family, friends, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you write one handwritten letter that you mail the day you're going to kill yourself.
Okay.
And in that, you tell your friend, I am not suicidal, but I have discovered some secrets about some very powerful people. And the goal is that then your friend tries to take down the Clintons or whatever it is to try and avenge your
You've been assassinated.
Exactly.
Wow. I like that. That's fun.
That's fun. And then you get to find out, well, you don't get to find out, but hopefully your friend goes to bat for you and really tries to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, you're watching from the grape beyond, so you'll get to find out.
Do you believe in afterlife?
Some sort of afterlife. Yeah, this is something I go back and forth with. Like, it's hard because obviously, like, I'm an unmarried woman in her late 30s, so all my friends are woo woo.
Yeah, not to cut you off. You do have the confidence of a crypto bro, but then the kind of styling and genetic makeup of a crystal girl, like,
for sure,
mashed together.
See, this is the thing. So, like, I'm like an OG witch girl, and I think like they've been like astrology, crystals, tarot, and witchcraft have all been mushed together. But like Wicca is an actual religion, and I do fully practice Wicca, and I have since I was like a little girl. Like, everyone my age got into it when we were 12 and saw The Craft, but I stayed on and got real serious about it.
Yeah, or it was either The Craft or Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I actually never watched Buffy, but it's
shocking. But
it's so weird because Sarah Michelle Gellar is like that's my celebrity like lookalike, especially when I was little. Like we looked a lot like each other. It was crazy.
Yeah, all my lookalikes are dogs.
What dogs?
Cocker spaniels.
Oh, I thought you meant like a celebrity dog, like Pluto or Goofy.
No, just like dogs you see around.
What is more lovable than a dog?
Nothing. I love them.
There
it's
you
great.
go.
But yeah, but when you're day to day, you're walking around and you look like a fucking golden doodle. It's not the greatest thing.
That's so funny. Do people try to pet you or something?
No, but oftentimes when I tell people my name's Toby, they go, "Oh my God, my dog's name is Toby."
Oh my God.
I've gotten hamster. When I was in London, I was at a bar and I was talking to this chick, and I was like maybe 17 or something, 16 or 17, and I was like, "Oh, my name's Toby. Nice to meet you." And she goes, "Oh my God, my horse's name is Toby." Oh my God. And then I was like, "Oh, you own horses? Like,
Yeah.
I have nothing to provide you in this."
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you can't date a horse girl.
No, especially one with that accent.
Yeah, British horse girl. That's a different kind. That's an equestrian.
That's someone who does dressage.
Yes, I only learned what dressage was like in the past year.
I
also the first time I said like dressage because I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
I fucking idiot.
And then Mike Harrington, which is hilarious that he could correct me, was like dressage. I think you mean dressage. There had been just like a news story about it recently.
Yeah, that would make me feel extra shitty. Dressage.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did to my TikTok algorithm, but I just got served up a bunch of videos of horse people at medieval times.
Ooh, I love medieval times.
Filming the horse arena and being like, this place is unbelievable. These horses have it made.
Oh, really?
Apparently it's sick. I don't know.
Whoa. Okay, good. Well, that makes me so happy because anytime, animals are involved in entertainment, I get nervous because I'm someone who grew up, I loved the circus. Like, I was a Barnum and Bailey bitch. And now growing up and being like, were those animals being abused? I guess they were. Like, it kills me. It kills me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it brought me so much joy. And I go, oh, no, those animals were in so so much pain.
Yeah,
Why do I do that?
And then you learn about Milo and Otis and Homeward Bound. And they were just murking puppies and kitties left and right to make all those movies.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, sometimes you do learn like stuff like that late at night on Instagram. And you go, I could have lived my whole life not knowing that, and it would have been.
Yeah, what do you mean the Mighty Ducks were all Nazis? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Or just like all the abuse that was going on like the set of The Wizard of Oz, how like half the cast members didn't get, like even get along.
You know? Yeah, they showered them in asbestos.
Yeah, Judy Garland had a terrible eating disorder that the studio basically mandated. It was not good. And her only friend on set was Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West.
The irony.
Yeah, I know.
That is, yeah, all those old-timey film stars did not have a good time.
No.
They're all, I feel like they were all like drinking ether and stuff.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. But to get back to your question, do I believe in the afterlife? So, yes, but I don't believe, like, there's a lot of, like, people get really, okay, so do people get obsessed with asking you if you've seen a sign from your dead loved ones?
No, because everyone knows I'm
friends.
not a fucking idiot.
Oh.
Because I know if they ask me that, I go, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, so, I mean, people are like, I just having conversations. Like, people make it seem in certain circles that when your loved one dies, you'll just be, it'll just be like, oh, you'll get so many signs. It's like, oh, Dad, did you call me? Like, it's so over the top. And like, well, I do. And it's also funny to me because I felt like I did get some signs early on, but then I'm like, oh, I think that was just like the trauma of my grief and my brain trying to help me survive by giving things meaning that didn't have meaning. Because why am I not getting signs ever now?
It's almost like imagination is humanity's most powerful weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I still believe in some sort of something. I mean, I've watched a lot of people who have clinically died and came back to life, have been medically resuscitated videos. My dad was actually like medically dead for like 20 minutes, but because of the brain injury, he wasn't able to tell me about the experience. So like, I do think there is something else, but I think we've gone really overboard with signs.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing with Sam. She was dead for 45 minutes and then brought back and then lived for another 2 weeks and then finally passed away.
Fuck.
Yeah, so whenever people complain about, someone that they close to them dying, I'm like, yeah, but at least they didn't die twice. You fucking pussy.
So like, the 45 minutes, you thought it was like over? Had you been told? Were you in the, like, what was going on? She was in the emergency room?
Yeah, she was walking out of a doctor's appointment where she was getting chemo, or the other one that I forget the name of.
Chemo or the other one?
Yeah, because there's two like main cancer treatments. It's chemo, and then the cancer she had skin cancer, which is like the worst one.
Is it?
Dude, no one knows about it. I thought that was minor league bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't know skin cancer was the worst one.
Well, okay, because dude, your skin is your biggest organ.
Yeah.
So you get the skin cancer, and then it's just got a super highway to get into everything else.
Fuck. And your bloodstream. And
and then skin cancer chemo doesn't work.
Really?
You have to use I mean, this is how I'm remembering it. So if I'm wrong, my bad. I'm not trying to fucking.
I thought like pancreatic was the worst because there's no cure.
There are a couple of those, but it's like yes, but the skin cancer will get to your pancreas. It'll get in your lungs, it'll get in your fucking brain and shit.
Jesus.
So she was walking out of a doctor's appointment where she just gotten treatment and then collapsed. And she was with her mom, and her mom rushed her to the ER. And they worked for like 45 minutes to an hour to resuscitate her. And then she was in like a coma. It might have been medically induced. I forget the details. I was pretty fried at the time, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then it was this discussion of she's like completely knocked out, and it was like we don't know how bad the brain trauma could have been, and
that's a long time to.
It's a fucking long, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
actually surprised she was even able to come back after 45 minutes. That's like a long time.
Yeah, and you like super need air. It's crazy important.
Yeah, and hypoxic brain damage is no joke.
Yeah, so that was the fear.
Yeah.
So they did the thing where they basically lower your body's temperature.
They did that to my dad too.
Yeah. So then there was this whole discussion of, what to do next. Do we try and see, because it could be like crazy traumatic brain injury, or a bunch of other gnarly shit that happens. We don't breathe for a fucking hour, which is why David Blaine, truly an incredible performer. I mean,
that's for the Harrison and Greenbaum episode.
Yeah. So they did a thing where they raised her body temperature back up to kind of see what happened, and she eventually came to. But that night was insane because it was like they were like, yeah, she's gonna die any second. So we're all in there, everyone's saying goodbyes. They brought in a priest to like give her last rites and shit, and we're just in there, and I was holding her hand as the priest is saying the shit, and in my head I was going, because she fucking hated religion like me, she was super opposed.
Yeah, I was like, did she want that?
But and we'll talk more about religion. I've really softened up on it, but at that time, I was still like, it's us versus God. Fuck that shit. And I would just remember holding her hand and thinking in my head, dude, if you were funny, you'd die right now. like this is the moment to do it, dude. So then, so everybody said goodbye. It was super fucking gnarly. And then she woke up. It was insane.
And she had full brain capacity?
Well, no, because she was all fucked up from all the fentanyl they'd been pumping in her. So I was like, oh man, she's cooked. But no, she was just all fented out, dude. It was like straight Kensington Street, just mush brain. But then she got back and then was talking and normal. She was having motor function issues, but she'd been having that before. But then
she recognized, she knew who you were when the fentanyl wore off?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'll be when you're talking about like the gift of humor, I'll be forever thankful for all the Gillian Keefe sketches, because we sat and watched them in the hospital as they were coming out, and we're like dying laughing. And then there was the one where it's Shane is the football coach.
I was like, I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so Shane's the football coach, and then they have a moment with Gerben where they're like they're talking about scrambling, and like one of this is like a moment where I was like, God, I love comedy so much. Is like she's like hooked up to a zillion things in the fucking hospital, and then she's in there, she's going scrambling, and we're fucking dying laughing. It was the best. So she was there and she remembered everyone, but she couldn't really comprehend what had happened. And it was also weird that the doctors were like, don't tell her that she had died. Because they were like, because that can like crack people's psyche or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, which is hard because you want to console them and be like, dude, you fucking died. That's crazy. Like, it's so sick that you're here.
Wow.
But she's just like, I feel like shit. Like, what's going on?
Fuck.
But then it was like she was there and her personality was intact, her sense of humor was intact, like you were saying, but there was just comprehension issues of like she couldn't walk and was like they won't let me walk, and it's like, dog, you can't
walk. Yeah,
you can't, dude. So that all of that was very tough. But for a minute there, it seemed like she was gonna be fucking back at it and going to physical therapy and stuff. But you also learned that like doctors and entertainment managers and agents are so similar, dude. They will straight up tell you what you want to hear. Like,
oh, you think so?
I think some of them will.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know agents will, but yeah.
yeah. But no, like doctors will be like,
because I feel like doctors are that I've had experience with were more like gave me like bad case scenarios.
Oh, like they went the other way. Well, I think that specifically the person who was in charge of her, God damn it, I wish I could remember what this thing was.
The other chemo thing.
Yeah.
Chemo alternative.
That's exactly what I just looked.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Probably blocked it.
Right. I know. Well, it was so funny because I have such blackouts and brownouts in my mind from like grief times. Like my vocabulary got smaller. There was full on word. I would be podcasting and I couldn't remember simple words. I remember that was so bad the first year.
Immunotherapy.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. was always like very positive. We're gonna win. This thing is beatable.
Also because she was so young, so maybe they were trying to be more positive about it.
For sure. And I don't hold that a grudge for that. But then it's like we're in the hospital and then you overhear a doctor be like, "Oh, the person in, this room is she's terminal with whatever." And it was like no one had said that. And you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?"
Yeah, when you overhear them having other conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got beef. My beef is no longer with God. It's now with medical professionals.
I have a lot of beef with medical professionals, and it's hard because you're not allowed to say anything bad about nurses. And I go, I have a lot of bad things to say about nurses.
Well, because it's people. So it's like in any profession, good and bad.
Of course. And I'm, it's like, I understand it is not an easy job, like whatever, but it's also like, no one held a gun to your head and was like, gotta be a nurse. Like, so if your number one, joy in life is not healing other people, then probably not the profession for you.
Yeah.
You can't go into nursing with a Dwayne Reed cashier attitude.
Facts, dude.
So like, that's why I'm just like, okay, like, I don't know.
Yeah. But then there are also ones who are like unbelievable and
for sure.
Just make the hardest part of people's lives so much easier. So it's like, it's shout out to them. But then it's also like doctors. There are people who are like, I'm in this for the Hippocratic oath, whatever. I'm here to save people. That's my pure motivation is I want to save people. And then there are other people who are like, I want a fucking shit ton of money.
I want money. Yeah.
I want money. So I'm going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
and there's also something about doctors that I feel like sometimes that they can learn from creatives. Sometimes they're too logical, and I'm like let's think of some creative solutions here. And like they actually do exist. Like they're too into following protocol, where if you just look at it and you just look at the facts and you're like, okay, well, I understand that's protocol, but like are you not able to access like your critical thinking at all? I found that a lot because me with truly zero medical knowledge would sometimes bring things up and they'd be like, well, we're just following protocol. And I go, yeah, but just like look at this situation. The protocol is not like a one size fits all.
Yes.
And then I would like be checking it online, and I'm like, and then I have a friend who is an RN and who is a wonderful RN, a close friend, and she gave me this like kind of like recommendation that really fucked with my head. But she was like, yeah, everyone is not going to get treated equally, and you have to be the squeaky wheel. Like, she's like, be a fucking Karen in the hospital because you will get more attention. And it's funny because my mom is like so, like my mom is like an aggressive woman. She gets things done. And I felt like I was having to like force the family in a lot of ways to be like, no, we have to advocate for dad. Like she like didn't want to like bother or like pressure everyone, anyone. And like, I understand like the want to be polite and respectful and thankful to the people who are attempting to save his life. But I was like, also when people are coming in at administering medication and you ask what is this medication and what does it do? And people go, oh, I don't know. It's just on his chart. I go, how the fuck can you be administering something and you don't even know what it does?
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
I said, I said, I don't want to be rude to you. Like I had conversations like this in a hospice and I go, because he was just like zonked out a lot of the time. And I'm like, I don't think he needs to be this like when someone has the mentality of an 8-year-old, where are they going?
Yeah.
So I go, I would just be like, I would like lock the door in hospice and I go, we don't need the 4 o'clock dosage. We're good. Because you could just say that. People forget, like, it's kind of the way people forget politicians work for you. Like in a hospital, like those people do work for you.
Politicians work for the stock market.
Well, but in theory, like you can demand things of them because that is the setup. Like they do work for you. People will kind of like kowtow almost to politicians. Now we're starting to see a change, but for a long time they didn't. They were just like looking up to them or like being extra respectful to them. And I was like, no, say, hey, bitch, why didn't you do the thing that you said you were going to do when I voted for you? Like you can do that for sure.
And they go, because I was lying and I'm here for the cash, dude.
And the same thing in the medical industry. It's just like you're paying these crazy bills.
Crippling.
Yeah. And you should be getting a certain level of service and attention. and be getting people who are thinking critically and creatively about the best plan of action for your specific case or your loved one's case. Like,
yeah, but the problem
is
that Dr. House doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean,
and honestly, a lot of their motivations and the reason they're following protocols is because they just don't want to get sued. They are terrified.
I know that the whole thing is we don't want to get sued. It's really disgusting, and that's all they care about. And you go, okay, that's nice that you care about that. Like, then more than saving someone's life.
Litigation and insurance are the most anti-humanitarian things that exist. It's fucking crazy, but it is what it is.
And then people go, oh, we'll just sue the hospital. I go, yeah, I'd rather have my dad than $10,000.
Yeah, dude.
What are we even talking about here?
Also, have you ever been involved with a lawsuit? It's so expensive and takes so long.
Yep. Just was involved in one, in fact. Spent $15,000 fighting the Board of Elections.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because fuck that. Because this shit happens to regular people who try to run all the time, and regular people don't have like the following, and they didn't have the campaign funds I had. So that fight was for everyone who wanted to run for office. Because fucking liberals, especially, like to say, run for office. Oh, but we're gonna keep you off the ballot. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I don't have the energy right now, but I will be taking that further because I know that happens to lots of other people in New York City and in many cities all over the country. And fuck that. Fuck that. Don't tell people to run for office and then be like, well, we didn't actually mean anyone. We meant people on the inside. Fuck you.
The most clear and concise critique of local politics it cemented my pun intended, I guess, my worldview of it is there's that great scene in one of the early seasons of The Simpsons where they're interviewing Mayor Quinby about something, and they're like, when are you going to fix the potholes? And he's like, well, we're working very diligently on it. And then one of the reporters opens a door and they're building him like this unbelievable pool, and the bags say pothole cement. It's like, oh yeah, that's the deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
absolutely. Well, I mean, that actually is so relevant to the news that we heard today. There was just a story, the Trump administration cut, cancer research for children. And they also on the same day proposed that they're building a $200 million gold ballroom in the White House. So that's exactly The Simpsons.
Yeah, I am so deeply apathetic when it comes to politics that I would describe my political view as like radical apathy. I think it is
people, but I think it's because there's no one who's made good on their word, right?
Yeah, of course not.
Exactly. And so I think that if you're running for office these days, it's part of your job as a candidate to try and heal that apathy and turn it into people who want to be involved. And that's why there were so many first-time voters this election for the mayoral election, because Zoran Mamdani was able to do that,
which is sick. Shout out that guy.
And I'm going to give myself 1% credit.
Hell yeah, and you deserve that.
Thank you,
dude. I would kill to have your confidence. Everything would be so much easier. I spend so much time going, who the fuck do I think I am?
Well, but my response to anyone who says that is like, well, like, if that's what you're asking yourself, especially in this business where we're trying to get people to care about who we are, like, why would anyone else care if you don't even care?
You know what, Corinne? That's a good question.
Right? Like, if you don't think you're interesting or have something you need to offer, why would anyone else?
No, but that's the double-edged swords and the ultimate ironic twist.
Right.
Is I do think I have something to say, but then I go, well, why would you say it? Okay, so back to religion and the afterlife. So dealing with Sam's death, it really softened me to religion. It reconfirmed a lot of feelings that I had. It was a Catholic service, and it felt like a free bar show that it gets like a sick pop in, that they're like, a really top tier comic, and they got to advertise it. So like the place is packed because Sam was the shit and everybody loved her. So it's like, dude, they hadn't seen ticket sales like this in a minute at this fucking place. She backed the place.
Wow.
And
go Sam.
But they're like pitching the rest of the shit during her service. It's like not about her at all. It's all about
trying to sell people on Catholicism.
And
They go, well, we have you.
exactly, dude. While we have you, like, come check us out on Sundays. It kind of rips. And you're like, dude, fuck you.
Oh my God.
I was pissed, dude.
Oh my God. That
fucking-
is gauche.
Dude,
Catholicism is nothing but gauche, but
gauche is
oh,
nail on the head. Afterwards, like, me and all the homies had like a powwow in the parking lot afterwards, where it was like the 20 of us that were all super close to her, like literally like huddled up. We all put our arms around each other and we were like, okay, whatever the fuck that was for them and the people who connect with whatever that was.
right.
But this next thing is for us. And then we went to a local bar and had like a sick party, and we're all shotgunning beer. Well, they were shotgunning beers in her honor. I've never been so thirsty in my entire life. But the priest fist bumped me afterwards. I've never wanted.
He's fist bumped you?
He fist bumped the whole family, and then he got to me, and I wanted to. I was fucking livid. I wanted to ice this dude so badly, but out of respect for her family and stuff, I was like, I gave him the fist bump, and I wish I could take it back.
Dude, so
I was like, you didn't say one personal thing about what the fuck was this,
that
dude?
is shocking. So I got fist bumped while I was getting a transvaginal ultrasound.
What the fuck?
And that's worse.
Yeah, that's wildly
That's
inappropriate.
worse. Yeah, that's worse. What the fuck? Yeah, the doctor came in and he thought it was a good time for a fist bump. I go, I don't read the room, buddy.
That's when you got hit him with a stick shift. You just go full hand over.
I was like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am sorry that happened to you. That is
Yes, but what I
good willpower though, not punching him.
no, I would never punch a huge pussy. But I thought about icing him on that fist bump though. Still gave it to him. But what I've come to accept about religion is that religion provides people comfort with the scariest aspect of humanity, which is that they are not special, they don't matter, and that there is nothing after this. Like, this is the whole ride.
Yeah, see I still don't. I do believe there's something after, but I agree. Like, it is very easy to understand religion, and it's not that I've softened. Like, I softened on religion, but I also do feel like I don't know that I believe in God the way people talk about it, but I do believe there's like something. I've always kind of described myself as agnostic rather than atheist,
Sure.
because I believe there's something. I just have no idea what it is, and I think it's wild that people are so certain that they know, that they can fully commit to different religions the way that they do. When we talk about like overconfidence, is not being super religious the ultimate overconfidence?
It provides
You're saying I know better than anyone. No, how the fuck? What are you talking about?
because I feel that way.
Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, and it's like when people argue about religion, I'm like, you are Yu-Gi-Oh card people arguing with Pokemon card people about which is better, dude. Like, this is so, it's just silly. But I do think there is a massive value in the comfort that it provides people, because I do think that like the thought of this being us being talking animals is like too gnarly a reality for some people.
Yeah, it's hope. I think when sold correctly, hope is very useful. It's just that too often people weaponize hope.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most powerful motivators there is. But then it's also in the
How
wrong.
Barack Obama won the entire election. I mean, people forget this, but he was like, the thought of him becoming president at the time that he became president, he was not in the political standing to rise to the presidency, and he sold people hope, and people needed it.
Yeah, and I didn't vote for Obama, but I did vote for Obama because my absentee ballot was sent to my home and then was filled out. So hilarious that Fox News is right about the fucking about the voter fraud or whatever. But I signed off on it. It was all good. But that I was in Chicago the night he got elected, right by Grant Park, and so we were like in a dorm room. I was in college for the 5 minutes I was there, and we're like smoking weed. And then we like heard all this ruckus outside, and we're like, "What's going on?" Oh yeah! And we turned on the news, like, "Oh shit, he's going to do it!" And that was someone who was as far removed from politics as you can probably be. That was a cool moment of being in Grant Park. Everyone's so hyped. things are really going to change. And oh boy, did they not at all.
Yeah. I know people have a really selective memory about that. And like people are like, oh, we missed the Obamas. I go, what really did they do?
It's a lot of drone strikes.
Yeah. I was like, what? Name something, name a policy that you really loved.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that it's,
now they're fucking making a TV show with Larry David. I'm like the conflation of entertainment and politics. As someone who is an entertainer who ran for politics, it's like pisses me off.
Yeah, I think it's just all horseshit, and you just got to be cool to the people that you're interacting with, and that's like, and if we all did that, then it would all be cool. But
yeah,
whatever. Who gives a shit? Yes, but the people who find religion I do think it's predatory and that they do get people in their most vulnerable moments.
Yes, that's my whole problem with spirituality. I think like all these fucking mediums and stuff are preying on people in their deepest, darkest moments, and it disgusts me. It's fucking charlatan behavior, parlor tricks. It drives me nuts.
Okay. Where are you in your journey as a witch? Are you do you have
witchcraft is I like legit seriousness. Like the reason I like Wicca is because you're honoring your dead ancestors and the earth, Mother Earth. So these are both things that I know exist.
Yes.
So to me, it's just like it's like a meditative time to reflect on your goals and honor those who are before you and the earth around you. Like in Wicca, there's not even they worship in other witches' houses because they think building a building and wasting space that people could live in or that could be used by the earth for something that you're only going to be in one day a week is wasteful. Like that's to me is at the core what Wicca is, and that's why I've always liked it. It's also extremely, it's the only like woman forward major religion. I know people are gonna be like, Wicca's not a major religion. I would argue that it is, but
I wonder how many active practicing Wiccans there are.
Yeah. Well, and people, it's still something where if you say you like practice Wicca, people will just laugh in your face, and I go, that's fine. Welcome to every other aspect of my life. I have no problem with that. You think the editor in chief of Wannabe Weekly, a Spice Girls zine, hasn't been laughed at before? Hit me with your best shots. Hit me with your best shots.
Wannabe Weekly.
Wannabe Weekly.
That's a regular publication. How much Spice Girl news could there possibly have been?
A weekly amount. There was word puzzles. It was great. I would put this together for hours on AOL and email it to thousands of people for 5 years straight. 5 years straight.
What years?
So it would have been maybe like I think 8th grade, which would have been I'm going backwards. Like 1998 through like 2003. Damn,
good for you.
Yeah.
I was on a family vacation, and the hotel we were staying at had like a little, this is still like VHS days, but it had like a little movie rental kiosk. Mm-hmm. And one of the worst nights of my life up to that point, I convinced them to give me a copy of Scream.
Okay.
And I was so hyped. I hadn't seen it. I was so stoked.
Oh, yeah?
And so I like got it. I can't even remember how they were like, no, you're a child. Mm-hmm. This is a murder movie. And I was like, no, my dad told me to come get it or whatever.
Also, Scream, if you're going to watch a horror movie for a kid, like it's not as bad as so many other things you could pick up.
Well, I bring it back to the hotel room. I go to watch it, and my parents are like, what'd you get? Like, oh, I like rented a movie downstairs, thinking they're going to go by the pool, get drunk, do some adult shit. They decide, no, let's all have a family movie night. Ugh. So we watch the first scene. Drew Barrymore gets fully gutted, and my mom was like freaking out. She's like, no, you can't, go get something else. You have to go down. And I went back downstairs, and the only thing they had that was like family appropriate was Spice World.
Okay, this is a great movie, so it looks like you lucked out.
No, I went back upstairs and I watched Spice World with my family, and I was fucking pissed.
So
I was like,
so now you hate the Spice Girls because of this?
I was never a big fan, but I have a personal grudge now. Yes.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's circumstantial, but
yeah,
I'll give it to you. But you don't have a favorite Spice Girl? I feel like everyone our age has at least a favorite Spice Girl.
I guess Sporty. Mm-hmm. Which one was Sporty?
The sporty one?
Sure.
No, see? Long black ponytail, Adidas track pants.
Yeah.
Best voice, I would say, if we're going for like just pure singing talent.
I'm surprised that they haven't hit a reunion tour.
They have. They've done like 2.
Oh,
They did one right before COVID at Wembley Stadium, 3 nights in a row, 90,000 people every night, sold out. Was I there? Yes, I was.
my bad. I shouldn't have canceled my subscription to the newsletter.
What was your AOL screen name? Did you have one?
I did. Trogdor 1389.
Wow, mine was Vice Pres Toby.
Oh my god.
I really feel like the most.
Talk about calling your shot.
I think that like and also the reason it was Vice Pres to be, not Pres to be, was because I was.
You were a realist.
Well, for real though, no, it's even darker than that. If we're talking about grief and like the macabre, I said, well, if I'm going to be the first female vice president, sure, I was convinced that the first female president would be assassinated.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be the vice president because I didn't feel like being assassinated. And I never thought that I would be sitting here at 39 years old and still have not seen a first female president of the United States. So, ellipses to be continued. We'll see.
We'll see one day.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on. This is a blast. Such a blast.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Go out there, follow Corinne on all the social media.
Live your life.
Yeah, subscribe to the Spice Girls newsletter.
I'm a philanthropy gal on all my social media. And subscribe to Without a Country on YouTube, please, if you're interested in world events. And we do like a live call-in show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. YouTube.com/Without a Country. It's fun. It's like C-SPAN.
Hell yeah.
I was on C-SPAN and I was like, I love this.
C-SPAN was, I remember whenever I would be flipping through the channels and I would hit C-SPAN, I would go, who's watching C-SPAN?
Oh my God.
Dude?
When I went in DC, a fan of mine works for C-SPAN, and she was like, would you want to come on and like answer calls live on the air? And I go, would I? This is the best ask I've ever been asked. It was great. The calls were wild. I mean, I just wanted like just my face. I was losing it, but it was great. It was a wonderful experience.
Well, this was a wonderful experience. I had a great time. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Please check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Dynamite Rocketship. Subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a week. Later.